Hey guys, Meteorologist Chris Tomer here with this Saturday mountain weather update. All right, let's go to where it's snowing, and that's down in New Mexico. This is Tahoe, as expected. This cold front raced out of Wyoming through Colorado and is now kind of just sitting almost stationary over a lot of northern New Mexico and southern Colorado. But they're reporting 4 inches at Tahoe's in the last 24 hours. You can see it snowing and blowing down there. That finally puts them over the mark. They're now at 104, over 100 inches. And I still think you could pick up another 4 to 6 inches of accumulation across a lot of Taos, Ski Santa Fe, Angel Fire. And let me just show you radar across the west. So obviously most of the west is dry. The only game in town is right here. This is it. This is the cold front that is sitting over southern Colorado and northern New Mexico. You can see all the blue, which is snow. And it's going to be there for at least the first half of today, maybe even longer. Um, so there you go. All right, let me show you water vapor. So this is mid-level water vapor, and you're looking at the west here. So the oranges and reds are going to be your drier air, and the moistures and the whites and the blues. You can see let me mark it in blue here. Let me mark the front. So you got this front kind of sitting down in here. And that's what's really driving the production of the snow across southern Colorado, northern New Mexico. There's also an area of low pressure accompanying this thing. It will become a severe weather producer in the heartland again today. I mean, it's just like every single day these places are getting nailed in the heartland, the Mid-Atlantic. All right, across the Pacific Northwest, look at this big spinning area of low pressure. So this will become a focal point because now, once this cold front exits New Mexico, high pressure is going to build in to a lot of the west, the lower 48. And the whole pattern is going to start to favor, you can kind of see it happening, the Pacific Northwest, northern tier BC. So at the same time, temperatures are going to rise quickly. There's a lot of warm air that's going to build with this type of pattern with high pressure over the lower 48 and then all the action hitting the Pacific Northwest and BC. I'll show you what I'm thinking from my freezing levels, rain snow line here in a second, but here's what that pattern is going to look like. It's the middle of the atmosphere. It's about 18,000 feet up there, and this is effective on the 10th. So on the 10th of April, that's 5 days from now, big time high pressure. So what you're looking at, you see the bending, the arcing to the north of the pressure lines and the hotter colors. Those are higher pressures. So pretty big high pressure settling into the lower 48, all the actions up in the Pacific Northwest and BC. This will allow the temperatures at a lot of levels to warm significantly. Here are my bullet points. So high pressure comes in 4.6 to 4.13. Everything will favor P and W in the BC areas. Freezing levels are going to go up. Interior BC, we could be looking at 6,000 feet or higher. The Pacific Northwest, 5,000 feet or higher, maximum during the day, typically in the afternoons, and then they'll fall again at night. But Idaho could be looking at 7,000 feet. I mean, that's how warm it's going to be during the heart of this pattern. Here's my snow timeline. Best odds of new snow for the Big Sky area, Wasatch, Tetons, Colorado, interior BC, the Pacific Northwest, Tahoe, and the Northeast. So, for example, in the Wasatch, you have a chance of light snow. That's it, 412 to 413. It's going to be pretty slim pickings for a lot of Utah and Colorado um, over the next 7, 8 days. Tetons, you've got light to moderate snow, a couple different chances. Colorado, again, just light, slim pickings, 413, 414. Now, interior BC and the Pacific Northwest are going to be in deep moisture. By the time we get to 4.6, 4.7, 4.8, 4.9, and again 4.10, 4.11, could be looking at heavy snow accumulation, but at very high elevations because of all the warm air. It's going to be rain at a lot of the base areas. I got basically nothing for a lot of Tahoe down to Mammoth. You can see in the Northeast starting to really fight that mix almost every single time now. All right, let's drill down just quickly here on Alta ski area. There's really not a lot to show. I show you this, it's dry totally all the way through Tuesday, but it's effective about 9,000 feet. Air temps at about 9,000 today, 29 for the high, 33 on Sunday, and then about 40 on Monday and Tuesday, very little wind. So it continues the theme of it's really going to warm up across the west as this high pressure builds in and it's going to be very dry. Here's the jet stream forecast. So these are winds up at about 30,000 feet, looking at the brighter colors, but I'm also looking at the dips in the kinks. Those are the storm systems. You got a big dip over the Four Corners, New Mexico, southern Colorado, starting at early today, Saturday, April 5th. So that's our storm system. That's our one remaining storm system. And then by the time we get into early Sunday, it's out into the plains, and then high pressure across a lot of the lower 48, Intermountain. Pattern shifts up there into the Pacific Northwest, BC. A lot of warm air intrusion. This is early Wednesday. There's early Thursday, April 10th, big high pressure. There's early Friday, April 11th. There's the 12th. There's the 13th. Now, on the 13th into the 14th, you can see a storm system moving into California and the West Coast. So once we get through the 12th or 13th, then we'll start to watch for potentially a storm system, finally, at the very end of this. So there may be something at the very end of this pattern, but we're really starting to get into this robust springtime pattern, not unusual for April. Okay, here's the snow forecast over time, snow accumulation over time. So the light blues are under 3 inches, greens are 3 to 6, yellows 6 plus, reds 10 plus. Will start at early Saturday today, April the 5th. So the bulk of your action is down in southern Colorado and New Mexico, and even parts of the panhandle of Texas, believe it or not. Okay, let's move it ahead in time. Here we are early Sunday, the storm departs. And guys, that's it for a while, unless you live up in the Pacific Northwest or BC. This is early Tuesday, April 8th. Notice nothing for the Intermountain. Here's early Thursday, April 10th, the heart of the high pressure. There's early Saturday, midday Saturday. I mean, there's just nothing. Here we are on the 13th. Now we start to see that storm system move into California and the West Coast. This is early Monday, April 14th. Starts to make its move into the interior, Idaho, Tetons, Wasatch, Nevada. So it's a long wait. All the way till probably the 13th, 14th, 15th before we really start to see anything on the back end of this high pressure. Here's my snow forecast. All of today through the 13th. Kind of a 1 to 3 inch snow for the Wasatch, and that's very late in the period. About 5 up there in the Tetons, looking at potentially 10 through Big Sky and Bridger Bowl, 8's up in Whitefish, Discovery, Snowball. Interior BC, you're really going to have to be high elevation to get the 8 to 12 up there. 5 to 8 through a lot of sunshine up to Marmot, and 1 to 2, maybe 3 feet in the Pacific Northwest. Again, it all comes very late in the period and high elevation. Pretty dry from Tahoe down to Mammoth and Big Bear. In Colorado, maybe an inch for the central and northern mountains. It's very, very light. And what you see in southern Colorado and northern New Mexico is happening today. That's happening today, and then it all departs. Up in the Northeast, again, it's a battle of rain, snow. I think some places could pull off 2, 3, 4, 5 inches of accumulation through 413, but lower elevations are going to be mainly rain. Okay, guys, we'll end on the big western map here. Once we finish with this storm today through southern Colorado, northern New Mexico, it's high pressure for a lot of the Intermountain West for at least a week. Thanks for tuning in here on this Saturday, guys. Always appreciate it. Take care and have a great day.